Howdy, Merriam. Today is the 26th of May. At the time, it's just about 6 o'clock. Getting ready for the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting. Howdy, Jason.
We do, we have 4 with Tyson, so.
It's not here.
It's your phone.
Yeah.
I turned it down.
Too many devices.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
All right. So welcome to the Merriam Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting on May 26th, 2026. So we got attendance and roll call.
So we're showing Katie, Alex, and Doug are absent at this point. So we all in agreement with that?
Are we allowed to announce someone?
We will.
Okay.
We will. Yeah.
Don't wanna
Nope, you're fine.
steal your thunder there. So.
Nope, you're good.
All right. Public comments.
Yes. Billy Crone, I wanted to thank you for getting the monument cleaned at the corner of Johnson and Merriam. It looks better. There's still a little bit of scuff marks on the inside of it for some reason, but definitely all the mold's gone from the top, so that's an improvement. The door is still not working right to the art gallery, the left-hand one when you're coming in. A lot of people avoid touching the mechanized ones because they have a lot of resistance to them, so it's easier to open the manual door. But in our community center, that door's been broken since we moved in. And I'm just asking that that gets fixed. Thank you.
It's not broken, and it's not going to open. It does not unlock, and it's purposely not unlocking. We're looking at a different solution for that, so you can stop bringing it up.
Okay, you told me it didn't latch properly.
It doesn't
right?
unlock properly with a key.
So
It's
that
not,
would be a
it's
defect.
not, time out. It's not connected to the building system, so it doesn't automatically unlock and lock. So to prevent it from not getting locked every night, or someone from that oversight, it is not unlocked. We are working with a new vendor to see if we can get it put on the building system so that it operates like the rest of our doors.
Okay.
It is just, the other vendor was not able to do it. We are working with a new vendor. That door doesn't have to unlock because we have these doors. So it's not against building code for it not to unlock. There's not a problem that it's not opening because it's not the door you enter. If people don't want to use the ADA assistance or can't pull that door, they come in the front door.
Okay, well, I wish you'd give me that detail last time I asked you, but thank you.
Okay.
Anything else? Moving on to approval of the last month's meetings. Do I get a motion?
I move to approve the April 28th minutes.
I was second.
All right, they are approved.
George, yes, got it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so this is Jack Sparks. He is our new superintendent of facilities. So if everybody can go around the room and introduce themselves, so so that Jack can get a name and to everybody. Normally when we do this for new people and new board members, we also try and provide some insight as to what our favorite special event is, so that they kind of have an idea of the variety that we offer and that we all kind of have a different one. So Dave, will have you start. Tell me how long you've been on the board and your favorite event.
Yeah, I've been on board. Yeah, Dave Zuckley, I've been on the board, I think 4 years now. And yeah, I think the things I really like are the Turkey Creek Festival that we just had. That's definitely one of my favorites, especially as my daughter's getting older and enjoying more of the stuff. So she just caught her first tree fish at the fishing event. So that was a lot of fun. And then the car show is always fun too. So volunteering and all the different cars that show up there. But yeah.
Christopher Leach, I think I've been on the board 6 years.
Something like that.
I love the farmer's market. It's a different experience every time you go.
That's very true.
And I waited all winter for those sourdough
Yeah.
English muffins, and they're back.
Yeah, my name is George Vessel. I came on the same time as David did, actually, so I've been on about 4 years. I just did the Turkey Creek Festival. I was on the golf cart, which is great duty.
Yes.
And been involved in a number of events. I'll be cooking July 10th at Family Fun Picnic, as I did last year. So it's a great organization.
Excellent.
My name is Tyson Boyer. I've been here for like about a year. I think my favorite event is probably the car show because I'm pretty big into cars. So, and I'm bringing a car to the car show this coming one, so that'll be exciting. So that's something I enjoy.
Tyson's our resident Eagle Scout.
Oh, nice.
Just
I'm
throws a
Kathy
flood
Stoll,
down.
we've met.
Yes.
I've been on the board, I don't know how long have I done on the board?
Pre-me, so 15 or 16 years now.
And I enjoy, the art program and helping on the two big art festivals that we do here. And, I'll be there at the June 10th family night thing also.
Excellent.
Share something about yourself.
Okay, so.
You don't necessarily have a special event
I
yet,
don't
but
have a
maybe
special
you do,
event
I
yet.
don't
I
know.
did go to Turkey Creek. That was pretty great. And so yeah, my name is Jack Sparks.
How do you spell your last name?
SPARKS. Just like
Sparks.
Parks.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sparks.
just like you're starting a fire. Yep. So I live up there on 51st Street for a couple more days. But yeah, I came here from City of Olathe, so I was their aquatics director. I was running all 6 of those facilities for the last 3.5 years. And before that, I was with Pleasant Hill, Missouri. I was their Parks, Recs, and Facilities director. I've also been in a couple other municipalities working on different stuff, IT, parks related as well. So always admired this department from afar. You know, everybody that's in parks kind of works with each other. So I'm really excited to be here and ready to get moving with you guys.
All right, so
Welcome.
we'll meet the rest of the board when everybody else
Yeah.
is available. I figured today would be a little bit of a trouble being the day after a holiday, so.
Do we need an official vote for welcome?
Too late, already hired. Sorry.
No motion.
All right, so as always, included in your packet is the community center update and a few updates information that I shared. We did open the outdoor pool yesterday. It was a great day. We had almost 700 visitors just yesterday, so we are very excited about that. The concession cart didn't open, and it won't open until June 1. Our goal is to have it open on Memorial Day, but we had a snafu with product delivery and staffing. So June 1, the concession cart will open. So happy to answer any questions about community center or park updates that were included in your packet.
Are we looking to get a new color of paint with the paint refresh?
We are discussing that with the vendors. There are some walls that we will definitely revisit color, or also maybe application if it's necessarily paint or something different. But yes, we are exploring on the paint refresh ways to maybe hide dirt better.
Yeah. And I want to congratulate Cole and Lisa on graduating this program. So
Yes.
that's big for our community, for them to go through this development, and it definitely helps us out a bunch. Being able to have teams that develop and stay here, and that's really awesome. So glad to see the talent of the team expanding.
Thank you. We're very excited about that as well.
And the concession cart is not associated with a specific vendor?
No, it's us.
Oh, it is.
So it's not.
So you have to take care of an employee for it as well?
We have 3 part-time employees that we brought back from last year. And so it's pretty low bar for concession. I mean, it's like hot dogs and nachos and pretzels. We don't do very many we don't do soda out of it because we have the soda vending machine, so we try not to compete with our vending machine vendor. It's just convenience.
Where's the product come from?
Evco,
Oh, okay.
so, and Sam's.
With all the lifeguard recertification, has there been any issues with staffing? I know in like years past, there's been, we've
We only ran into slight issue in the fact that, some of our returning guards didn't tell us that they were returning soon enough. And so we have enough staff to staff it, we just don't have extras.
Okay.
So, normally we might run an extra person on a schedule just in case we get busy and then we can always cut and send people home. So we don't have that extra body right now, which just means Michael and Cole, if we got busy, would have to jump up on a stand. But we have 7 staff members that we're bringing in the course of the next 2 weeks. 1 is already certified, the other 6 would have to be certified, but they will be certified by the first week in June. So before we get really busy, we'll have those bodies in place.
Okay. Well, I'll keep an eye out for Michael or Cole if they're out there.
Yeah, fingers crossed we don't need them, but, you know, that's that's in their job description also, that they have to fill in if needed, so. We try and get it staffed, but, you know, sometimes kids don't know what their, internships are gonna be, so, you know, it happens. Any other questions about that?
Is there, I saw a lot of like bench maintenance, you know, with all the inspections
Mhm.
that happened. I think last year we did like a community like recycle event for I
Mhm.
think some benches, or
Mhm.
kind of looking to maybe revamp that at all?
We haven't looked to bring that back, cause that takes
Yeah.
takes a lot of staff time, but it also takes a lot of storage,
Yeah.
because it takes a lot of plastic bags to get that. And so these benches were ones that were existing already in inventory. And one of the reasons we like them is because if a board gets damaged, it's replaceable. You're not replacing the whole bench, unlike other products where you're replacing the whole bench if it gets damaged.
Okay.
So to replace the boards is not even a quarter of the cost of the bench, because it doesn't have all the steel.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious which ones were,
Yeah,
getting replaced, if it was
these-
like the recycled
No,
ones.
no, no, no,
or-
no, these were ones that we, have been in our inventory for a while, and one of the new one was actually a steel bench that was bent.
Okay.
So people were jumping on it, or kinda like they do with the picnic tables, you just never know how they end up bending them, but sheer force somehow they end up bending things, so. And they're trying to bend it back, it just, not the same. Okay, membership was included in your packet, and an explanation of that was in there. I'm happy to answer any questions about membership. It's something we'll keep, tracking as we go from month to month. This was April, you can see, kind of does this little whoo anyway through history, so while it dipped, and it dipped last year, I think, you know, one of the things in there is that it's still, we're still not getting the number of cancellations to our percentage is still good from a industry standard, so.
Do we need to expand the reasons why, we have like medical and other stuff, like when people cancel?
Some people just don't fill it out.
Okay, that's the other, okay.
Yeah, that's the other. If they don't give me a reason, or they don't circle anything, I just dump it into other. We still get a lot of people that like to try us for a month.
Mhm.
So a lot of our cancellations are these 1 month, whether they wanna try it and see if they're gonna use it, and then they realize they're not committed to coming a couple of times a week, and so then they cancel.
Yeah.
So,
On the membership categories, it's 2025 for the whole year and 2026 is only for part of the year?
on the first page, it is that way. So on the first page, that's year to date. So 2025 on the first page, on this page right here where you have 3,900,
Yeah.
that's for the whole year.
Okay.
And
the
this is
815
only through April, yes.
Okay,
And then the next page breaks it out, comparing April to April throughout the last 4 years, 5 years.
thank you.
Okay? All right. Visitation for April, we surpassed, barely, but surpassed April of last year. 1 day, basically, had an extra visit day in there. Looking at May, we're anticipating exceeding May of 2025. It's kind of hard because weather this next week is gonna be a huge impact on whether or not people show up, based on that. But based on this, we need to average 489 visits the last 6 days, including today, cause I don't know today's numbers. I'm sorry, visitation last year was 489 the last 6 days, and we need to average 345. So we should surpass, but weather's gonna be the factor of whether or not we do. The same is kind of true when you look at, daily visits. We need to average 118 per day, which is what we did last year, in order to surpass May, or to equal May of last year. So, we keep track of that for a couple of things, especially since, memberships kind of dropped in April. We don't know if this is a economic little blip, with gas prices being what they are and grocery prices increasing. If people, this will be the first thing people cut, is gym memberships.
Do you have a sense of the farthest traveled member, like by zip code or?
By zip code, I could look into that, I don't know it off the top of my head. But I do know that we have people that travel as far as Raymore because they work over here.
Oh, okay.
So that, it would be deceptive from that perspective because they do, we get business memberships
Sure.
from that perspective. But I can look into that,
Just curious as to.
yeah, and I don't know.
Obviously, that would, it'd be affected by price of gasoline.
Right, most of our visits, occur in the section that I'm going to refer to as the Northwest. Because it's mainly Shawnee, Turner, I mean, we get Merriam, don't get me wrong, but Merriam and North, and
Sure.
then West.
Southern KCK, maybe.
Yeah, but we do get a lot of people from Prairie Village, we get people from Leawood, we get people from Lenexa. So we cover a lot of Johnson County, at least in the
Sure.
north section.
Well, that's a testimonial to the facility,
Yeah,
I think, since all those cities have their own.
to some degree, yes. Sometimes it's, yeah, there's lots of reasons. So, but I can look into that and see where the zip codes come from. It's a simple report, I just haven't looked at it from that perspective. And then on a positive note, we are, another positive note, revenue is expected to exceed by midweek. We had a really good weekend. We weren't really 100% sure prior going into the weekend because the weather has not been very, beneficial for pool going, but once school let out, we really saw our number, and that's the hard part about May and projecting May is when does school get out, what's the weather look like? So we are, I ran the report as of right before this meeting just to see where we're at year to date, and we should, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll say Wednesday, but I'll say Thursday and hope it's Wednesday.
Yeah, despite all the weather and these challenges, like, you know, I know Oceans of Fun and stuff, all the news reports just came out that they were staying there, had horrible, you know, attendance because of weather and stuff like that, so it's good that we're at least keeping up our close,
Yeah.
so.
And I think the benefit for us is the indoor pool. The fact that we can have, the indoor pool as an option, so even when we have bad weather, you know,
Yeah.
we close the outdoor pool, but you can still come and swim inside, so.
I know my daughter earlier today was out there and first thing she said it was cold, but then I, went right into the therapy.
It is cold, it's 72, 74 degrees, it's
Yeah.
not.
We had a lot of students out there playing.
Yeah, we had a lot of swim team. Yep, swim team started this morning, so that was good. The other, I was going someplace with that thought, just a second, I'll bring it back. I don't know where that's going. Anyway, there was something there, sure. Included was the rec report. So we like to share this every season and kind of break down where our numbers are at. Remember that enrolled is the number of people that actually pay to participate, so that's one person per class, and participation reflects the number of times that those people visited for that class. So we kind of look at the enrolled and participation numbers side by side. From a participation standpoint, our participation grew 7.9% over 2025. If we scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see that. Enrollment dropped. There's some areas where that makes sense when you look at participation, and it's tied to youth educational, adult martial arts, and special events. Enrollment specifically in youth classes fell, youth educational. We lost a long-time gymnastics instructor, so you can see that enrollment changed drastically as well as participation. We are building that program with a new gymnastics instructor, and so we're starting to see growth again with that, but that took a little bit of word of mouth because we didn't have youth tumbling and gymnastics last fall. So not having it in the fall and building it into winter, spring, it's gonna take a little bit to grow that program back. We also changed, we don't have preschool prep anymore. We changed that to a DIY program that Logan is doing, and so that is also starting to see growth. This was the first season that we offered that. So we offered it in February, and when he offered it again for Mother's Day, we saw significant growth in that program as well. So we are seeing those programs grow. Adult martial arts is kind of a unique program. That's kind of the same group of guys. So depending on their travel, depends on how many we get. So we do see ebbs and flows of that as they travel. And then special events, that's tied to art gallery attendance straight up. I mean, it's down 75-ish compared to last year. And of course, that's just to draw the art, the weather, what's happening. I mean, that's just gonna ebb and flow anyway from general. So when you take those numbers out, we look at the programs that staff have been growing and developing and things that we've been focusing on, which have been, yoga, aquatics, adult fitness, adult ed, those all grew substantially. Yoga grew 72%, youth aquatics grew 28.8%, adult fitness grew 67.9%, and adult ed grew 34%. Daily visits and 50 plus both experienced about a 7% increase. So overall, the majority of our programs are showing growth. We just had those handful that we'll dig into a little bit and see what we can do to maybe change a few things up. But I think we're on the right track with our youth tumbling with this instructor. She seems to be keeping and retaining people from session to session. So we should see that grow in the summer.
Do you remember the name of Chloe's class at 9 on Tuesday, Thursday? I can never remember the name of it.
Chloe's class at senior strength.
Okay, senior strength. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, it keeps growing.
It does keep
We're
growing.
at the 25 chairs, I'm sure.
Yeah, she is people love taking Chloe's class.
She smiles.
Yeah, she is. She's a happy instructor.
I feel like, I've been really enjoying like the city's communication that's been going out for a lot of the events, including, you know,
Good.
a lot of our programs, and I think that's, you know, been a big positive impact, and,
Mhm.
there's been a lot of cool communication coming out, and a lot of it, so I think that's been awesome.
Yeah, we've reorganized the communication division, within the city, and their focus has, changed a little bit also. Our Facebook page has gotten a new name.
Yeah.
And we've changed how we're communicating events versus things in this building. There's gonna be another focus on some other, we're gonna move to reels more than what they call flat posts.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm over it. But that's, I mean, Sierra is very well versed in that, so
Yeah.
it's her baby, she's running with it, and we're just playing along.
Yeah, she's doing great. And
Yeah.
It's, how much has been going on has been great for like us as board, at least me, like, if I wanna share like with my neighbors or, you know, in our community, you know, instead of having to try to draft something up, you guys already have something there. It's just like,
Good.
hey, look at this. And it's helpful for us to help communicate what's going on, and it's, again, really cool, so.
Well, good, I will make sure our communication team knows that. Anything else about that? All right, we're gonna roll into upcoming events. Opening reception next Thursday featuring Marianne Jenkins and Rich Berry, so it's all ink. It should be interesting to see what that looks like. Same time is always 7 to 8:30. Ingrid does a great job with those receptions, so we're excited for that. We
That's
have.
next week, right?
Next week, yep, next week. I'm not ready for it to be this week. I can't have it be this week. Next week is also a free day, it's our first free day of the summer, so we will be, inviting Merriam residents to come in, they're gonna do a special, reel about free day, like all the things to do in the community center for the free day, so keep your eyes open for that and promote that to your neighbors if you want them to come, and it's completely free. Hope it's a warm day. That would not be fun if it's not. Family Fun Friday is June 12th. We'll feature the music of Sass Monkey, and KC Foam Parties will be our side entertainment. We usually have some sort of inflatable or some face painter or something, so we're gonna try a foam party this year. I don't know what that means.
Bubbles.
Bubbles, yes, I think it's a big tank of bubble, I don't really
We did
know.
it in middle school, and it's like,
So tell us.
it's like basically like a big field, and they just like spray like an like insane, unhealthy amount of soap, and you like, and then it's like stays in like bubble form for quite a bit. So kids just like run through like, and like basically run around in a bunch of bubbles.
Okay, well, good.
Have a kids rave.
Yeah.
Sounds
Like
awesome.
the kids will be wet and stuff going in.
Oh,
and
well, that'll be fun, cause
Pack
it's
extra towels for your children.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Come out clean.
yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
It's like a
I've
car
seen,
wash.
I've seen pictures, but it didn't look like that, I mean, I just saw the bubbles, I didn't know if it related to like the bubbleologists we had at Turkey Creek Festival, but sounds a little bit more intense than
You need a
that.
supervisor?
I think we have all of our volunteers for that. Renee said we're looking good for that. I asked.
Yeah.
Our last community concert series will be Thursday, June 18th, here in the courtyard. Kurt Caldwell. So, they've been fairly well attended. Last week, we held it last week, even though it looked like weather was gonna be an issue, so, but weather never came, so, this is the change from concert in the courtyard. We've decided to expand it and just do smaller versions of that, so, we will be bringing forward the evaluation for the entire series next month and determine if we build on that or where we go with that moving forward, but we're trying something different because concert in the courtyard was not successful, so. Make Music Day, I do have an update on that. We are having a difficult time finding qualified musicians or people that we feel would represent our programs successfully. It is Father's Day, and so bands aren't really wanting to do much on that day, so we're part of the big call for musicians for that day, but we are not getting applications we're not getting the type of applications we typically do for the quality of programs that we wanna offer. So we're still working that, we're gonna continue to look at that and see if we can figure something out, but if not, we might just bow out for this year and pick it up again next year. It's a free music event, it's summer solstice, it's something that started, it's a worldwide event, so, but seems to be coupled with World Cup and Father's Day, that we are not the only, everybody involved in it is also struggling, so it's not unique to us, it's the whole metro that participates is having the same problem, so. Anyway, our first dive-in movie will be Friday, June 26th. There is a change this year in that everybody that RSVPs will pay $5 a person. Last year, when we allowed people to RSVP at no charge, they didn't show up. And then we have people that wanted to come in and it just became, so we figured $5 a person gets them in the door. And it's a reasonable amount it's not horribly expensive. So we'll see how this goes, but Finding Nemo on June 26th from 8:30 to 10:30. Any questions about those events? All right, Ingrid did include a farmer's market update in your packet. Shows the tote and the plantable, an example of the plantable, seed bookmark, and then the activity that they've already done, they did. So that was included. We did get a complaint today from the farmer's market. At this point, I can't do anything about it because we don't have anything in our agreement with the vendors that allows them to or not to do this. But the complaint came that we had a racist vendor. It's not a racist, it's a political sign, but our vendor packet does not preclude that. So we need to have a conversation with our lawyer to see if we can even do that because of First Amendment rights. So I explained that to the person. I said, unfortunately, whether or not you agree or disagree with the sign that was posted, it is what it is. I can't, I said, if you don't agree, avoid the vendor. But at this point, I can't do anything, and I cannot act on that. And I'm not sure if even in the future I would be able to act upon that. That is something that I have to vet through the lawyers before I make it, before that can be determined. So she understood that. She just thought it was unfortunate. And I'm like, again, it's their opinion. I can't say anything against that. So
Have the restrooms been repaired?
they have been repaired. They're reopened. We're still there. We haven't gone into a different system of locking them down at night. We're looking to put them on similar to other conversations with the new vendor. We're looking at systems that they have that would put it on a building, a BMS system, so that they would lock and unlock automatically. So we haven't had any more damage, so that's good, but definitely want to look at preventing additional damage.
What would happen if you were in there when it locks?
You can still get out. No, you can still get out.
Very
It's,
good
it's,
question.
it's
Good
similar
question.
to the doors here. You would be able to get out.
You just can't go back in.
You can't go back in.
Okay.
That is correct. Yeah, there has to be an emergency exit on them.
Too late.
Too late.
Will there be a sign posted closing time?
No, no, no. Yeah, there will be signage if we go that route
Open,
and
close.
decide to open and close them. We'll make sure that that is signed, but there has to be an emergency escape also. Flags for Freedom update. The planning committee is meeting monthly. Flag installation will be Saturday, June 27th. In order to accommodate the farmer's market, the concert on July 4th has to be moved, so the farmer's market will close at noon and the concert will begin at 2 that day. That's not uncommon. That happens obviously on a cyclical pattern. So we are communicating that in all of our promotions for that. And then flag removal will be July 6th at 5 o'clock because we don't want to leave the flags up for yet a whole week after that. So July 6th at 5 p.m. we'll be taking the flags down. Volunteers are encouraged to complete the volunteer application and release form on the event page. So that's how Flags for Freedom works. And then Turkey Creek Car and Motorcycle Show, we continue to meet monthly with the planning committee. The event logo has been finalized. We're working on the sponsorship or deadline for inclusion in the promotional materials has passed. However, any additional sponsors received moving forward will just be included in what hasn't been printed to this point, or to that point, so we don't turn sponsors away. They're just limited in what they get in moving forward. And then final selections for awards, t-shirts and dash plaques are expected to completed probably at our meeting next week, so that we can get those starting in the production process. It takes a little bit to get those produced. And then registration forms will be mailed to past participants in mid-June with event registration opening July 1. So while we are still several months away, planning and preparation is in full force for that event.
Parking last year was,
We are evaluating that based on the new properties that we own.
yeah.
And evaluating if, depending on the new grass that has been planted in those lots, if that is sustainable and, we don't get any rain, that could become, show parking, and then the parking at 5701 would be all participant parking, instead of being split.
Last year also, there was a shortage of disabled parking.
Well, we don't have, I mean, we have disabled parking,
Yeah,
and it's,
it was full.
yeah, well, yeah, yep,
Okay.
that
I was just working that in on the
Yeah.
street.
Well, and I don't, we're really limited.
Yeah,
I mean, we put as much disabled parking as we can,
Yeah.
but from a ratio perspective, we're within ratio.
okay.
So from that perspective, we have enough, it's just that the clientele is a little bit different for that event, so.
Older.
Nice euphemism.
Yes, so we do encourage people, you know, while we don't run shuttles like we do for Turkey Creek Car Show, or for Turkey Creek Festival, we do provide
Yeah,
assistance.
it's just
if
an
we can find
observation.
it. Yep.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know the conversations we have in
Okay.
regards to it.
What's the date?
Second Saturday in September, the 12th, does that sound right?
No,
13th, 12th.
something in there.
Sorry, I don't have a calendar in front of me.
I do.
On the spot, I couldn't remember, I just looked at it too.
I think it's the 12th.
Second Saturday is the 12th.
Yeah, I thought it was. I have something on the 13th. So. Yes, and beyond.
Yeah.
All right,
Any other new or other business? Does anyone move to adjourn?
I saw a nice plug, by the way, on Turkey Creek Festival, just a PSA plug after the fact, just like a thank you or something on one of the stations, local station,
oh,
the other day. So that was good.
do you remember what station?
No, I'm gonna say probably ABC, but not absolutely sure.
Okay, because I'm just curious, because KCWE, we did some things on,
Yeah.
and we were on Fox 4, so I was just curious if it was, and I was on KMBC as an interview also.
KCWE is a KMBC affiliate too, I
Mhm.
believe.
Okay,
Anyway, it went well. Beautiful day.
it was a beautiful day.
Worked out.
Move to adjourn.
I second.
Cool, we're adjourned.
Okey dokey.
Hannah, who was the vendor at the farmer's market?
I don't know.
What was the sign? Like, what did it say that was,
It was just a political sign.
they didn't tell you what the message was?
It was just a political sign, Billy.
I heard you. Did you hear me?
Nice to meet you, Jack.
Hey, welcome, you guys, yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll see you around.
Yes, you will.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
Good to meet you, Jack.
I don't know.
How's that? Nice meeting you guys as well.
Good job, Jack.
Thank you, I took notes.
And welcome to Merriam.
I don't know.
Hey.
It's not my, yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
visiting with you
Yes,
about it.
yeah, no, I get that, yeah, I don't know how many, we're hoping to have a master plan come out of this one, so hopefully we'll have more conversations.
Anna, how much does the musician get paid for those music day events?
It just depends on what they want and what we have in the budget, it's negotiated.
Okay.
Hey, how are you?
Have a nice one, Kathy. Lots of non-answers from Ms. Slocum, as is unfortunately typical. But that is the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting for this beautiful Tuesday, May 26th, 2026. I'll see you around Merriam.